Hello everybody, my name is Zanity109 and welcome back to another episode on my channel. Today we're going to be building. We're going to be working over here at the Citadel. The first thing that we're going to be doing today to prepare for our build is clearing land behind of the Citadel. I have already gathered the resources for today's build off camera, here and here. We're going to clear the land out back here because we're going to finally build something that I've been wanting to build for a long time. A panda sanctuary. Now, cue the fancy YouTuber cut. And here we go. We have our area for the build cleared out. Now the next thing we're going to do, which I just realized I forgot to grab the materials for, is we gotta terraform this and build the land up to where we can put the main build in. So, I'll come back when that is done. And now we have the terraforming done. I've built up using grass, moss, rooted, and coarse dirt, a little bit of elevated terrain, and I've used andesite, stone, and light gray wool to build a little bit of a rock base that this is sitting on out here. Similar to what I did at the very front of the fortress. And I also have the question as to how a turtle got in here. Man, he must have crawled up all the way from the water in the river. That's impressive. I'll allow it. The next phase of creating this panda enclosure out back behind the citadel is to build walls or some fencing so that the pandas can't get out. So for that, we're going to go over here and grab our various materials that I've brought with me, and we're going to start building. The first thing that we're going to do for building up these walls around this is we're going to start with 2 blocks up and then walls in segments of 4 in between these, and then 2 blocks up. So I'm just going to continue moving along with this all the way around the edge, and then I'll cut and come back when it's done. Alright, now that I've got the walls in around this, I want to put a small structure right there. So this is what we're going to do next. I'm going to begin by laying foundations right here. I think just to have it kind of as a smaller building right here would be beneficial. We're just going to kind of build it up with the deep slate and mud, which I now realize I have very little of. So I'm going to finish getting the walls for this built, go back, get some more supplies, and then I'll come back in a cut. Now that we have this building done, I've put the roof on and I've added just a little bit of spruce wood detailing to it and changed up the floor here to make it coarse dirt to make it look lived in. There's just a couple finishing details I'm going to add before I put the plants in. One of which is I want to add a little overhang coming off the front of this with campfires that we're going to extinguish. I think 3 rows might have been too many. Only 2, and then stick the fences down from there. I think that creates just kind of a nice little shelter area in this spot for the pandas to kind of hide in. Next thing I want to add is going to be right here. We're going to rip out this block and put a stair there, and then dig down the terrain here just a little bit and get rid of the sand, because we're going to replace it with mud in order to put a little pond in here for water. And we're going to remove some of these outside blocks with mud just to kind of blend it a little bit more. Add a little bit of podzol to make it look more muddy right around here. And then we're just gonna waterlog that and then I will make sure that's all source blocks later. But just to get a little bit of water in here, I think that does a lot. The next thing to do is to put some bamboo in areas within this enclosure, mostly scattered in areas along the edges of this, but we're also going to put a little bit of sugarcane growing here and there around the pond. The vegetation, which is the final detail in this build, is coming in last. So then, once we get this in, then we're going to add in the pandas. I got some more plants that I want to put in here, so I'm going to cut and bring you guys back once this enclosure is finally finished, and we'll put the pandas in. Alright, so we've gotten all the plants in here. A lot of cherry blossoms and flowers and different things like that. So we're finally ready to put the pandas into this enclosure. I'm not going to get pandas from the wild, because I already have 2 brown pandas in my barn over in the city of Einheit. So we're going to get the Happy Gast, and I'm going to try and fly them over here in boats, and we're going to see how well that goes. Alright, so I've gotten the boats down out here outside the barn. Now we're going to release one at a time, and I'm going to try and only get one of these in each boat, because it'll be easier to get them out if there's only one in each boat as opposed to 2. So now we're going to get this guy over here. Come on. And we're going to try and get him into the boat over here. Alright. Now I'm going to get the Happy Gast from across the river and bring him over here, and we're going to try and get these guys hooked up and carried over. Alright, so we've got our Happy Gast boat over here. What we're going to do is lead the boats. Come back to the Happy Gast. Wait, crap. Come back. I guess that works. So we've got the pandas. Now it's just time to fly them all the way over. We have them right. Yeah. Alright. So I'm going to cut once I get back over there because these guys are incredibly slow. So, see ya. So, we had an incident. The pandas fell off. They're down there behind me. So, I'm going to take the Happy Gast back to where it was and then just drag them all the way over by leading the boats. This is not going how I thought it would. Okay, so I got the Happy Gast put back. Now, I guess it's time to try and lead these. I got the boats, so I think I'm going to try and get them down here and then just lead them all the way over to where I'm building. I have a feeling this is going to be an incredibly painful process. Alright, so I've gotten the pandas here to the base of the bridge. But since it's really difficult for them to go up the stairs and slabs in the boat, I think I'm going to get them out of the boat and just lead them with bamboo. So we're going to see how this will go. Alright, so I finally got the pandas in here inside the enclosure. So I think what I'm going to do now is just kind of let them chill and call this build finished. Call this good. So, hey, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye. And we got the baby panda. It's adorable.